Hey, how you ladies doing today? Oh, all ladies, I'm lucky. Welcome to the Power of Self Live monthly summit, where we bring speakers, authors, influencers, and people that have something truly to say that inspires others, a platform that they can share their message to the world. We're recording live, so say hi to everybody on Facebook Live. And we're recording and we're going to be posting this actually on YouTube. So definitely come check it out if you are inspired and you enjoyed what you heard. So I want to start today by taking a deep breath. Right? We spend most of our times in the hustle and bustle of every day, trying to grind, trying to make it. So it's always good to be present in the moment. So I like to always start with just a... So everybody in the audience, take a deep breath with me. It says, breathe in. Breathe out. Yeah. Doesn't that feel good? Yes, and today when you're listening to me and our great speaker Carla, who's coming up after me, listen to us with relaxed belief. Is what my mentor Les Brown calls listening with faith. And faith means finding answers in the heart. Because many times we go to these seminars, we want to listen with our minds, get good knowledge, get information, want to go right back into the Monday and start using them. But as a person that has made major transformation in his own life, I say listen with your heart. Because that's the only time it penetrates. See, you'll forget everything I say, but you'll never forget how I made you feel. All right, so is that okay? Yes. All right, if that's good, let me hear you say yes again. All right, now we're ready. All right, well, they say 85% of success is just showing up. So I want everyone to give themselves a round of applause just for being here today, because most people can't even do that. So for you being here today, it shows that you are on the journey to success. And that's what I want to talk to everyone about today, is the journey to success. I realize there's about 5 tiers. And the very first tier is called the push, which I'll be presenting today. But what is success? Everybody has different meanings of what success really is to them. But for me, I take what Earl Nightingale said. Success is the steady realization of a worthy ideal. Meaning if you're pursuing an ideal relationship, an ideal marriage, an ideal fitness, an ideal career, an ideal life, you are successful. Why? Because it's not getting the goal that makes you successful. It's who you have to become in order to do so that does. And what is the push? Have everybody felt like life pushed you around a little bit? Has everybody ever got that feeling that life kind of gave you a little bit of a push? It's happened to me many times. And what the push is, happens to us every day. When you're driving to work and you hate your commute, that's the push. When you're going through your closet and you have nothing to wear, that is the push. When you have a random argument with your significant other, that's the push. When you are a bum and you have no place to go to, that is the push. It's life pushing you to a direction for a reason. And life pushes us for 3 reasons. Number 1 is for us to change our path. Number 2 is for us to get on the path that we were meant to be on. And number 3 is to learn something. Again, I appreciate everyone coming in here today. You could be anywhere in the world, but like Jay-Z said, you're here with me, so I appreciate that. So, the push. The best way I could describe the push is a story from Zig Ziglar. Anybody ever heard of Zig Ziglar? Yeah, Zig Ziglar? He's one of my favorite mentors, such a great speaker. And he tells a story about a rich oil tycoon. Has anybody ever heard the story of the rich oil tycoon? No? All right, well, I'll be able to present it. Once there was a rich oil man that lived in the south of Texas, and he was getting old. So he wanted an heir, but he only had one daughter, but he wanted a son. So he called out to all the men in the world that's strong spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and said, come to my ranch and you can win up to 3 prizes. And he was an old Texan, so he had a big cowboy hat, big belt buckle, spurs. And he said, all right, boys, if y'all want my vast treasure, you'll have to jump in my pool. They said, okay, that's easy enough. He said, you have to swim from one end to the other. Okay. But my pool is filled with 3 man-eating sharks. Oh no. Okay. All the guys were like, oh, I don't know about that. He said, but if you go through the process, you'll win 1, my beautiful daughter's hand in marriage. 2, you'll win my vast estate and my house. Or 3, you could win $300 million. Now, ladies in the room, you probably don't want to marry the girl. I don't know, you might. But how many would want at least the $300 million? All right? How much would want the big land and the vast estate? I know I would. But how many would jump in the pool with the man-eating sharks? Yeah, most people would say no. And all the guys were like, oh, I'm not doing that. Oh, no. Oh, hell to the no. Until they heard splash. They looked to the left, and they saw a man just swimming, and hopped out the pool like Aquaman. It was the most impressive things anyone ever seen. And the old Texan said, boy, come here. And the guy comes in dripping wet, tired. He's like, man, that was incredible. So let me guess, you want my daughter's hand in marriage? He said, no, sir. Okay, so that must mean you want my vast estate. No, sir. Okay, let me guess. You must want that $300 million. No, sir. Well, then, boy, what do you want? I want the name of the guy that pushed me in the pool. It's one of my favorite ones. But the funny thing about that story is, it wasn't a guy that pushed him in the pool. It was life. See, I believe there's spirits among us that watches us every day, that we can't smell, we can't hear, we can't touch, we can't see, but they're all around us. And there's some way around that guy and said, you know what? You see Billy Joe down there? He doesn't think he could do it. But doesn't he want the vast estate? Yes. Doesn't he want the money? Yes. Doesn't he want the beautiful woman? Yes. All right, let's give him a push. And life pushes us into things that we don't believe we can handle. But it's pushing us every day to make that critical choice. See, the thing is, he did it. Yes, he jumped in the pool full of man-eating sharks. But he did it. Was it terrifying? Yes. Was it horrifying? Yes. Was it scary? Yes. Was it hard? Yes. Did he doubt his probably the whole way through? Yes. But did he do it? Yes. And life's constantly asking us to move. Has anybody ever seen Black Panther? The movie Black Panther? There's a quote in Black Panther I love. It's one of his, I think, not Sherry, it's one of his guards. And she walked up to a lady and she said, move, or you will be moved. And that's life. Either you move, or you will be moved. You will be pushed. And I was pushed many times in my life. Does anybody want to hear the story when I got pushed? I really got pushed? Let me hear you say yeah if you want to hear the story I got pushed. Anyway. But so the story is when I got pushed was several years ago. I was dating my fiance at the time, and we were just dating. And we broke up. Of course, it was my fault. I'm a guy, I'm stupid. She wanted a commitment from me, and my heart said, yes, I want to be with her. She's a love of my life. I want to make a commitment to her. But my ego, my head said, I'm young. I'm sexy. I got girls looking at me. Let me test the waters a little bit. Stupid. But at the time, I thought I was being smart. I got a new job hire in Miami, Florida. And so they promised me $35K a year, a 401K. So I'm feeling good. I'm thinking, oh, I'm affluent. I'm abundant. I got a job. I'm moving out of my parents' house. This is good stuff. But it was Miles Monroe who said, we are excited at things that God is disappointed in. So I'm excited. I'm thinking, oh, this is my path now. This is the way I want to go. But I know there's spirit somewhere that said, really? that's what you want to do, okay. If that's what you feel is best for you, but I had this great plan for you, but if that's the direction you want to go, let him go. It was Alan Watts who said, let a fool persist in his follies for him to become wise. I had to be stupid to gain my intelligence, to gain my wisdom. I had to make my mistakes. And so I moved to Florida, or Miami, South Florida, and I'm thinking everything is perfect. I get the job. And one day I'm driving in the company vehicle, and I get sideswiped at a red light. Who gets hit on a red light? I don't know, but I did. And so I went to my manager and I said, hey, listen, I had a fender bender, the guy sideswiped me, I apologize. He's like, don't worry about it, Rich, it's fine. Let me just talk to the owner. So I went to the owner, or he went to the owner and said, Rich got into an accident. He said, okay, it's fine, let's put him on our insurance. At the time, I had a DUI case. I had tons of parking tickets and speeding tickets. So the insurance company said, yes, you could add Rich Fontaine onto your insurance, but we're gonna have to jack up your prices. So he said, get rid of the guy. So the boss came to me and said, Rich, we like you, but we can't keep you. And instead of seeing that as a sign, I dug my heels in deeper. I persisted in folly. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna find me another job. I had a friend that said, hey, do you want a sales job? I said, sure. It's a job in South Florida, $35K a year, 401K. Yeah, let's do it. And that same weekend I got the job, my tires got slashed at the apartment I was living in. Again, I don't see the signs. But I never got my tires slashed. Not before, never after. Because I don't produce that type of energy. I'm usually pretty nice to people, right? Star, am I pretty nice? Yeah, pretty nice, right? So I never got my tires slashed. So I'm thinking, okay, this must be a fluke accident. Must be something weird. So I'm rolling, imagine this, in the hot burning sun. I'm rolling my tires down Collins Avenue in Miami, Florida. 2 miles down and 2 miles back. I get back and she says, you know what? I don't know why you got your tires slashed, but I don't want that type of energy around my home, so I'm gonna need you to move out. Okay, so I said, all right, I'm determined. I'm not gonna give up. I'm saying, all right, you know what? I'm gonna stay in South Florida. This is gonna go good. I finally said I moved out, and I moved in with a Russian guy. And this guy was a devout drinker. I mean, he praised the bottle of vodka every night. And he would knock on my door. Dum, 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 dum. Richard. Dum, dum, dum. I want to drink vodka and listen to R&B. Dum, 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 dum. Are you awake? Mind you, my lights are off. My door's locked. I'm sleeping. Why do I want to listen to R&B at 2 a.m. in the morning? And I was wondering, why R&B? Because I'm black? I didn't know if I should be offended by that, but I wasn't sure. But he was a cool guy until one day, his girlfriend at the time came to me and said, Rich, the Russian guy, he just got arrested for a DUI and he's going to be deported back to Russia. I'm going to need you to find a new place to live. And I'm like, what is happening? Why is everything I'm trying, everything I'm doing, everything I'm pursuing, I'm pushing, I'm working hard, I'm doing all the right things, I'm taking care of my family, why is it not working for me? And that's what led me into enlightenment. Is let a fool persist in his follies for him to become wise. So it wasn't until I broke down and I said, I don't know what it is. God, what do you want from me? What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? How am I supposed to help? Because everything I try is not working. What is going on? And it wasn't until I knew, until I became complete and utter surrender. When I had complete and utter surrender. I quieted my mind at that time. And that's when I actually start to listen. And I started to be guided. I started to listen to mentors. My best mentor that taught me everything I know, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, Norman Vincent Peale, Robert Greene. And I started studying these men and started listening to them every single day. And they told me, Richard, the reason you're not getting what you want is because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. I had to change my direction. And until I changed my direction, nothing worked for me. But until I got silent, now every day I wake up, God, what is it that you want me to do? Not to what do I want? What do you need me to do? Because there's a joke. If you want to make the gods laugh, tell them your plans. So I used to make my own plans. And I could feel that probably Jesus and Mohammed and Abraham all got together and said, hey, you see that guy down there, Rich Fontaine? Guess what? He wants to be a salesman and an engineer. What a fool. He'll learn, newbie. He'll learn. And I learned the hard way. And we all gonna learn. Some of us can learn the hard way. Some of us can learn a little bit easier. But all will learn. Which reminds me, I was actually reading in the Bible, which leads me to number 2, is your push to get on your path. And I was reading the story of Exodus on the Old Testament. And I was listening to the story of Moses. And I was so surprised when they said that Moses was arguing with God. I'm like, you can argue with God? Because most of the time when you see the movies, you hear stories about Moses, you see this Charleston Heston character with long hair looking like Fabio, with his staff and confidence and bravado. Let my people go. But it wasn't like that at all. He doubted, he complained, he murmured the entire path of the journey. When the burning bush first came to him, he said, listen, Moses, I choose you. I want you to pick up my staff, go to Egypt, and tell Pharaoh you want to free the Israelites. And Moses said, no, I'm not doing that. He said, I'm wanted for murder in Egypt. Pharaoh doesn't even like me. They'll cut me down as soon as I walk through the door. I'm not going to Egypt. And God's like, yeah, but you are though. So I need you to pick up my staff, walk out to Egypt, and tell them to let my people go. And Moses is like, listen, God is it? God, right? Ask my cousin Aaron. Aaron's good. People like Aaron. Aaron's positive. He's a good speaker. He's handsome. Go ask Aaron. And God's like, but if I wanted Aaron, I would have asked Aaron. I want you. And that's life constantly asking us, I choose you. The reason that book idea came to you is because I choose you. The reason I told you that seminar is supposed to be open because I choose you. That business, that song, that performance, that modeling, that art, it's in your mind because I choose you. If I wanted that other person, it would have came to them. But unfortunately, we don't listen. We say, God, no. And that's the second reason you get pushed, is you get pushed to the path you belong on. Not the path that you want, not the path that you think you're supposed to be, but the path you belong. Which leads me to number 3, is to learn something. Life happens to us for us to learn something. Has anybody ever read the book, The Death of Ivan Ilyich? It's one of the scariest, most chilling books I've ever read. It's about a Russian judge who does everything perfect in life. He has the house, he has the car, he has the career, he has the education, he has the 401k, he has the IRA, he has the savings account, he has the monthly income, he has the house, he has the kids, he has everything by society standards. But he dies in the dark, in pain, and alone. And it wasn't until he took his last breath that an idea came to his head. When he finally got silent. And it said, what if everything that I thought was wrong? And then he died. And ever since I read that, I said to myself, Rich, don't die with your dreams still in you. Don't die with your dreams still in you. And recently I actually was at the hospital with my father. And my father reminded me of Ivan Ilyich. He did everything right. He has a nice home. He's a physician, has the education, had 2 beautiful kids, me and my sister, beautiful wife, my mother. And I saw him in the hospital bed At 65 years old, not even old, with tubes sticking out of his hands and his arms, with a pain on his face, and looking like, why is this happening to me? I did everything right. I'm trying to protect people. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to do things for my family. Why is this happening to me? And I realized something. Just because something is good for society doesn't mean it's good for you. And most definitely doesn't mean it's good for God. When you listen to your own heart, your own path will tell you where to go. And that's the push. Because it was Miles Monroe who said, the wealthiest place in the world is not the oil rigs in Saudi Arabia. And it's not the diamond mines in South Africa. The wealthiest place on the planet is in the cemetery. Because there you will find books unwritten, songs unsung, speeches unperformed, acting undone, and dreams unlived. And that's when the ghosts of all the things you're supposed to do come to you, to your bedside while you're sitting there in the hospital and say, we came to you. You were supposed to manifest us. And now we have to die with you. So I ask you today, don't die with your dreams still in you. And like the great Ralph Waldo Emerson said, don't be pushed by your problems. Be led by your dreams. And lastly, any football fans in the room? Okay, we got one, so you might get this analogy. All right, in football, there's a running back, and they have a defensive line. And the defensive line is always pushing everything back away from the running back. And they only leave him one gap of space to get to the path. And that's life. Life is constantly pushing everything back. And it was T.D. Jakes who told me, God closes more doors than he opens. So when you're running towards your dream, you're going to have a door that says, nope, not there. Nope, not there. Nope, not there. An opening. And usually that opening is a sign to tell you that's exactly where you're supposed to go. So I thank God for every door that closes, any performance that I don't make, any audience that doesn't show up, any people that don't believe in me. I thank him for it, because the ones that do are the ones that specifically for me. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming to this episode of Power of Self Live. I thank you very much. And give us a couple of minutes. We're going to have Carla come speak to us, and she's a very powerful speaker, and she's going to blow your mind. If any other speakers, influencers, authors are interested and want to perform on this stage, we record it live and we place it on YouTube. You can sign up right there at the sheet. Power Self Live is not a sales funnel. What we do is we do inspirational speaking for people that have something to say. Because most seminars, they want to sell you something. Here, we do have things to sell now. We are entrepreneurs, we have books, we have tapes, but we're not here for that. We're here to inspire the world. Thank you very much, and give us 5-10 minutes and we'll have Carla come up. Thank you.